We're going to be messed up, right? The family business, the small business in America, it deflects tyranny, right?
I've been thinking I may up and leave the city. I've been praying on the sun, simple Midwest living, homestead instead of my own 9 to 5 with a suit and tie, going off grid with Doug and Stacy.
Well, good morning. How are you? Coming to see what's going on out here? You coming to see what's going on out here? Huh? Got some security? Some extra security? Sadie, how are you this morning, girl? Always a curious morning. Always a curious morning. How about those storms last night, huh? You like that? We've got about 4 inches of rain. 3 to 4 inches of rain every couple days. That's what's going on around here. Good morning. Good morning. Ooh, I can hear your tummy. I can hear your tumbly rumbling. Ha! So what we're doing this morning is we're clicking up the fence. I call it clipping up the fence, right? We're using these clips right here, and we're adding some security onto the homestead. I'm going to tell you guys about, some things that we've learned over 13 years and going through some highs and lows in our country. And one thing I've noticed, out here in this rural area is that when things start going down in the city, like high prices or hard times, a lot of these city folks, they come and dump their animals off here in the country, and it's a big problem. Okay, and what I'm doing right now is I'm just trying to get some extra security. We got lambs in the field. I needed a little more pasture space. I'm going to beef up my sheep production a little bit for the next couple years and see how this goes. So I wanted to make sure I had good amount of ewes so Rambo can do his thing, and I'm gonna need more pasture for the sheep, right? So this video is kind of like a security video because I want to touch on this aspect of security that a lot of people don't talk about. Actually, I've never heard anybody talk about it. They talk about the food, they talk about the water, they talk about, perimeters and this kind of stuff, right? But I don't think I've ever heard anybody talking about the #1 killer of your homestead animals, right? Of your farm animals. And that's the domestic dog. Excuse me, dear. Excuse me, dear. Excuse me, dear. Back. Thank you. So an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So I'm trying to get ahead of the race here a little bit, and I've strung out this woven wire fence all down the perimeter. I'm about halfway. I got to go all the way down there by Mom's house. Then I'm going to run a line all the way back up to the top here. When we bought this property, the property was actually fenced with barbed wire on the outside. You know, this exterior, you know, the perimeter fence they call it. But it didn't have any you know, protection for the animals, right? The dogs are just going to come right underneath the barbed wire fence. And because we have horses, it's been on my mind for some years to transfer this over to the woven wire. So the horses, these horses probably not, but a lot of horses, you know, it's been told that they get kind of spooked and they can like run right through the barbed wire, and it really cuts them up, messes them up bad. My horses are all broke and real easy going, and I've had them for years. But that's something you want to think about if you're going to maybe get into some horses on your new homestead, okay? It's just think twice about the barbed wire. It's great for the cows, but all right, so I'm going to get this fence clipped here. I'm going to give you some more tips on the way down about fencing and about what's been going on and all that stuff. So it's the #1 cause of death on the homestead: domestic dogs. You probably didn't even know that. Did you even know that? Hi, dear. So Noah and I, we came out the other day and we stretched up this fence. I'm not really, you know, I can't really show you videos on how we stretched out the fence if Noah comes over, because he's Amish. And I don't really break the camera out with him too much. We did a couple times with the fencing we did down at Mom's, but it's not really that good for us. So we just rolled this fence out, got it all laid out, and then we clipped it a little bit, and now I'm coming around after the rain again, and I'm putting the clips on. I'll show you a little trick here that I learned. I clipped a lot of fence. When we first got out in here to the Amish area, and I was learning everything, I would, you know, Stacy was working in the city, right? And I would go every day. I would just wake up and start fencing. I would go fencing with Noah once we became friends and everything. I basically was his apprentice. And I would go out and fence $12 an hour. And we fenced all the Amish and English places around here. And that's how I made a few bucks. But my main thing was learning the skill of fencing, right? Because there's actually, you know, it's a skill. Like, you have to know these little super good tricks to get it done, or your fence, you know, won't stay together, it won't last, it won't do the job that it's supposed to do, which is to keep, actually, the fence is to keep predators out, first and foremost, and to keep your livestock in. In Missouri, if your livestock's on the road and somebody hits it, you're responsible for that. Some states it's not. You guys getting a lot of rain where you're at? Seems like every couple days we're getting the rain. I live kind of around the farmers, so they've been trying real hard to get into the fields. And trust me, they have a real good art about it. So they're not going to let, you know, any other forces to be tell them not to get into the fields. They are poised and ready to go. What, are you licking me now? Oh my gosh, what are you doing? Huh? What are you doing to me over here, huh? Sadie girl? Oh, she's such a good girl. A lot of guys don't like to have horses on the homestead, you know. They call them hay burners. But I like horses on the homestead for a couple reasons, right? One, they're therapeutic. Like, I enjoy petting her, and look, she's enjoying me petting her. Yes. And, you know, they have awareness to them. You know, they're not as good as the guineas or anything, but they're pretty good with strangers or strange things or noises. Their ears perk up. You can always tell they give it their full attention. That's another reason why. But the biggest reason, obviously, is transportation. This is Sadie. She's our saddle horse, which means we'll put a saddle on her and ride her around. And then we also have Smokey. He's our buggy horse. And I hook him up to the buggy, and that's my wheels that I basically used. So we were here for 13 years so far. Okay, when we first got out here, we had 2 cars and all that stuff. And then I was like, man, you know, I was going hardcore into it, guys. I was like, you know, what if stuff goes bad? What if we can't get gas? What if, I was thinking this 13 years ago. What if we can't get oil? You know, what if we can't do this? What if we can't do that? And then that's the whole time I was learning about the Amish over there. And then I was all in. I was like, they're living a 100% without any of this stuff. So what I need to do is learn how they do that, right? Because there could come a time, I was telling my wife, Stacy, oh, am I boring you? I was telling the wife, I said, you know, there could come a time, oh man, when we don't even have the opportunity to get that stuff. So I got us down to 1 car. I learned how to do the horse and buggy. I bought a team of Belgians. I learned how to do the Belgians. I plowed the garden with them, pulled logs out of the forest with them, all that stuff, right? So I did that for like 5 years, 6 years, whatever it was, 7 years. Yeah, and then they lullabied me back a little bit, right? Then I was saving money, and we saved a ton of money, guys. You could save so much money living off grid. We don't have any bills, no water bills, no electric bills, no trash bills, no bills, no nothing, right? I don't even like bill. We don't even have a mailbox, so we can't even get bills. That's why I didn't put a mailbox up. No reason to have one. Well, so I was learning all that stuff, and I got down to, you know, some horses and a team of Belgians. And then what happened was the Belgians, I couldn't use them enough, right? So it was kind of bugging me that they would stand around a lot, and they eat a lot during the winter time. So it was very expensive through the winter to keep them going. And then I started thinking about, you know, putting the numbers to it, actually. And the skid steer is economical. It's more economical to have the skid steer than it is to have the team of Belgians. The only plus, pound for pound or penny for penny, is that the Belgians can reproduce if you get a male and a female that aren't related. And so then you could have more, you know, Belgians. But I just couldn't justify having them around that much and not being able to use them all the time. You really need to use them all the time. Cutting hay, pulling logs, moving stuff, right? Pulling hay wagons, you know, corn wagons, all that stuff. That's what they're for. And they're heavy and big, and they just want to work. And I couldn't do it. I felt bad. But the skid steer, I jump in it, I go. It's easy, you know. And to be honest with you guys, some of you guys think about the skid steer and you think it's such an expensive cost. A team of Belgians right now, probably about $50,000, $60,000, right? $70,000 if they're broke, maybe more. My team was broke. So when I sold them, I pocketed that money, saved it, and then I was on the hunt to get the skid steer. So, and I got into those Belgians. You guys are a little crooked there. I got into those Belgians on a super good deal, right? So like I was just looking around for some horses, and I answered a little ad in the paper. This is how this stuff goes sometimes. And the guy that I had ran across, he was trying to, you know, he's basically getting rid of them. He was kind of a horse guy. His main thing were these kind of horses, quarter horses, saddle horses. But he had some teams, right? And he had a team of Persians that he had just sold. I missed those. And then he had this team of Belgians, and they were up at the Amish up in Clark. And so we went up there, we looked at them. I thought, man, that's good. They're broke, and I got them. So, but that was all. I got a super good deal with that because we actually bartered and I traded some stuff. So I was just telling you that story just because if you don't think you have enough money, right, you know, just get creative. A lot of people like to barter. So we bartered with him. I had some halflingers that I actually learned to plow on and stuff. They're a little bit smaller than the Belgians. So I traded those and this and that, and I just got a fantastic deal on those horses. And that was a time when the market was down on teams, right? I think I only give 10,000 or something, 8,000 for that team, 4,000 a piece or something like that. Ended up selling them for almost 50, right? So I just try to share those stories with you because you never know how things are going to work out. And that's how it worked out for me. You're a good girl, Sadie girl. Now, when you guys click your fence, these aren't really the best pliers. But if you can get some real good, like cheapo pliers, they work the best, right? You just stick the handle in there. I'll go through a few motions with you. But this small pair of pliers, cheapy old pliers, not these, you know, these are a little channel locky looking, you know, but I just grabbed them because they were close to my hand because I'm a guy. But if you get the smaller cheapo pair, they just slip right in there and you can grab it and spin it around. I'll show you right now what I mean. Excuse me. Excuse me. Back, 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 back. Good girl. Thank you, thank you. That girl. That a girl. Sadie girl. You just want to be up close and personal today, don't you? Yeah, see, these are just a little bit longer so they don't work as smooth. But I'll show you this motion that you need to put your woven wire fence on. The woven wire fence is the best fence. You don't get the welded wire for your perimeter fence, okay? The welded wire like we used over at Gary's house is really for like no use. It's just like set it and forget it stuff, because those welds, after a time of flexing and all this stuff, they bust off and then you have a fence that's worth nothing. So you want to get the woven wire. Here's what the woven wire looks like. See, that's why they call it the woven wire. It comes down and they spin it around there so it's woven onto there. Each joint is woven onto the square versus a tack weld. It would be like a solid line coming down and then a tack weld right behind it to hold it onto this wire right here. This is superior. All right, so ready? I'm gonna show you guys how to do a click up here. You push the fence against here, and each one of these T-posts has these little, you know, all of them have the nipples on them, right? And those are basically your indicators how you line up where you want your fence to land. So we have our bob wire on the very top, we skip a nipple, we go down, we put the first line of the fence on the top there, and then we count down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we put another one, 1, 2, and you can skip them or you can put them every one, whatever, depends on what you're doing, right? Basically, you just bring it around the T-post, you click it on right here, pull it over here, and then the thing is you just take your pliers and you just shove them in that loop right there and you spin them around, right? See how easy that was? And then you just fold it up like this, see? And now your fence is secure. And that's why these are okay, but they're not the greatest. They're a little long for you to make your spin, but they still work okay. So we'll try one more time. Come down, put your wire on, bring this around, stick your handle inside there. I got a little piece of bob wire right there. It makes it a little more challenging. And you just roll it on up. You want to make sure that that bob wire or that clip gets rolled over, you know. Otherwise, horses are notorious for stomping on the fence. They like to stomp. So you don't want them doing that. And it's easy to keep a bucket along with you, you know, just to carry all the clips in. And sometimes when you're doing fencing, you might see a clip that's not good on your existing fence. You might replace it. So it's good just to have a little trash bucket and a little clip bucket. That's what I'm doing today, is securing the homestead a little better. I got a feeling we're going to see some domestic animal problems up here pretty soon. And I don't want to, you know, don't be reactive. Guys, we keep telling you this information. Take this information and act upon it, right? If you guys just keep getting the information, you don't do anything. Like we talk about generators, for example. And then you guys say, oh, that was really good. I really appreciate you doing a video about generators. And then you just file it in your head. And then a hurricane hits or some kind of blackout happens. And then what do you guys do? You guys all run to the store and try to buy a generator right when it happens. I mean, come on, right? Now, the reason why we're dripping these videos out to you right now is because we were trying to get you ahead of the masses. If you guys are in an area where there's a lot of people, right, there's going to be a lot of pressure coming on your systems. So if you guys get out there right now and get yourself advanced and get yourself taken care of, when everybody else wakes up to, you know, the reality of it all, you're going to be ahead of them, right? And then when you go to the store, the things you need that are gone, you're gonna already have. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Everybody panics and they go do the panic buy, right? And when they're doing that, you're doing it too. So then you can't get what you need. But if you guys are just like, you know, incognito right now, you know, just kind of gathering up your stuff, right? Getting it prepared, being ready. When it hits, you're gonna look super smart and you're gonna have a lot less stress on you, okay? I'm telling you guys from experience, right? Don't watch these type of videos. If you have the availability to act on anything we're talking about or any other channels you guys watch, for heaven's sake, do it, right? Worst case scenario, you're gonna have a stockpile of some stuff laying around that you can always use. You're only buying stuff you need. You're not buying stuff you don't need, right? Remember seeds a couple years ago? You guys were all just kind of lollygagging around and, you know, didn't have a good seed bank. And then all of a sudden all that stuff hit with the vid. And then what? Michigan says you can't even buy seeds, right? I mean, y'all, I'm just trying to help you guys out, right? Me and Stacy, our heart's desire is to try to help you guys out. And the storms are coming. And they're here. I mean, inflation's up. What was it in April? April, food rose 9% just in April. And this is June. So we're a lot worse off, right? Just hang in there. Make sure you keep your preps going. If you don't have money, a lot of money, we've been there, done that, right? You get what you can. You drip it in. You save. You're calculated, right? You're looking for deals. Maybe you're looking on Craigslist or Facebook or other places where other people need money to buy other stuff, and they might be getting rid of the stuff that you need for your preps. So then you can save money on it, pick it up secondhand, right? And then you help that person and that person. Maybe don't go to the store for all your needs. Maybe you guys go to person to person. It's a lot. We have to go person to person, okay? Now is the time, right? Person to person. If they close all these family businesses in America, we're going to be messed up, man. I was going to say that other word, but we're going to be messed up, right? The family business, the small business in America, it deflects tyranny, right? If you don't have those businesses, then all you have are these big mega corporations, right? Walmart, Costco, you know, all these big box stores. Look for Target to go out of business right now too. There's a lot of stuff going on, guys. I try to bring you some stuff. Like, I'm not, you know, super into the economics and all that stuff, but I know enough, you know what I mean? And I'm keeping my eye on it. But there's a lot of stuff going on that you guys probably aren't even clued in on. So just make sure you're stocking up, doing the best you can, getting what you can afford, buying what you need, going secondhand, and getting micro. Going to the farmers markets. Don't go to Walmart. Start training yourself right now, right? To start using other places, smaller places. Get to know the people. We got to bring this back. See, that's what happens with centralized government. Now, here comes the rant. I knew it would pop out. Centralized government is one bunch of people way over here that are trying to dictate and manage everyone, right? One size fits all. We are not one size fits all people anywhere on this globe, okay? And I'm not into groupthink, right? I'm into individual freedoms. I'm into self-preservation. I'm into live and let live, right? That's what I'm into. But you guys got to figure it out. But there's going to be some, it's going to be some rough stuff. Yellen's on the thing. You know, they're trying to use every scapegoat they can, but they've created this mess. If you guys remember, just 2 short years ago, we were a nation of energy independence, they called it, which really we weren't, but at least we were digging for our own oil. And if you're not clued into this, what happens is when oil prices go up, right, it's not economic for the oil producers in America to fire up all this big production stuff and to get all this stuff, all the man hours and all this stuff. It's not there. Now the Saudis can do it, right? Because they don't hardly pay nothing. They have the low wage set up. All that stuff's going on over there. But we have to pay the guys high dollar to pull that stuff out of the ground. So when gas is inexpensive, then they, you know, the barrel, then they can go out and make money doing it. When the gas is really high, it's not economical, and they're business people, right? That's why we should have business people running our country, business people with ethics. But they can't go out and get the oil out of the ground now because it's just too expensive at $100-something plus a barrel, right? So don't believe any of that stuff when they tell you they have oil leases that they aren't using. That's why. right? They will go broke going out there trying to compete on the global stage, pulling oil out of the ground here in America, and, you know, competing against people that don't even pay people for labor and stuff, right? So that's why we moved all of our manufacturing. I'm just going on now. We moved all of our manufacturing to China because you guys wanted cheap prices. And now we're going to pay for it. See, there's always a pay. And, you know, you always try to go around and try to do it on the cheap, but there's always a pay. So you just got to be mindful of that. Now, see, you guys got me going, and I didn't want to do that. I'm just trying to show you that we're stepping up security on the homestead, and the reasons why we're stepping up security. And I want to get those sheep turned out here a little better. I need more pasture space. Whew, man, oh man, oh man. I hope that wasn't too much for you guys. We do want to keep you guys kind of in the know, but it's a bit overwhelming sometimes. It can be. One thing I'll say to you guys, or, you know, suggest to you guys real quick, and then I'm going to let you go so I can just keep on clicking. If you guys watch anything on YouTube or, you know, something like that, check out Jim Rohn, R-O-H-N, right? Tony Robbins, you know what I mean? You know, there's a lot of good, positive mental attitude people that you can glean from and learn how to combat this stuff in your mind, okay? Because a lot of people are having a hard time right now, okay? Things are going to go on, things may get bad, but we are a resilient people, right? I mean, just look through history. We have, you know, a long history of humans, and we have a long history of just being Americans. And we've gone through some adverse times, so you just have to be prepared, you know, prepare for the worst and hope for the best. And then, you know, just help your fellow man and do the best that you can, right? We're all in this together. Just remember that. You can always visit offgridwithdouganstacy.com. It's a great resource for you guys. We do blogs there. We have all of our videos from YouTube are there. So if you guys just wake up every day and you just go to offgridwithdouganstacy.com, you don't even have to let YouTube not show you our videos. We get a lot of comments. YouTube's hiding our channel again, not letting you find this information. I know some of you guys wonder how a channel with almost 1 million subscribers could get like 20,000 views on a video. That's like, people were watching 20,000 views on our videos when we had like 100,000 people, right? So you guys help us stay vigilant, stay on top of these videos, get this information, share these videos, right? It's important that you guys hit that share link, send it to your groups, to your Facebook groups, to all your groups, so they can glean from this information too. Don't just keep it for yourself. All right? You guys have a nice day out there, man. You know, everything's going to be okay, right? Lean into your Bibles harder. You were made in His image, and He will not give you more than you can handle, right? And you're made for this moment. This is the moment, okay? All right, you guys have a great day, and we'll see you guys on the next video. I think Stacy's going to be going over with you guys, just in case you want to tease her. She's going to be going over you guys with the heat, right? If the grid goes down, you guys get a blackout or something, and we're dead smack in the middle of summer. What are you going to do about it? I'm on record to saying if the grid goes down, massive hack or whatever it is they keep warning you about, if the grid goes down in the summertime, it's really going to be bad. It's going to be mass casualties, right? Because you guys are way too much on this air conditioning, way too much on the controlled environment, right? I'm on record saying that if it happens in the summertime, mass casualties, and you guys cannot handle the heat. It took us a good 2 years probably to adjust. And other than that, if it happens in the wintertime, if the grid goes down in the wintertime, you guys will burn your furniture to stay warm. Like I don't mentally see a problem with you guys finding whatever you can find to burn to stay warm if there's no power. But that summertime heat, man. All right, you guys have a good day now. Make sure you're practicing all this stuff too, right? Practice staying out in that heat. Practice, you know, all this stuff, you know, a little bit of practice if you guys are living on grid. Turn your power off. Live 1 day without power, 2 days. Try to go to 3 days. See if you can do it for a week, you know? Go to your breaker box, turn off everything but the refrigerator. Just see how it goes for you, right? That's the stuff you guys need to be doing right now, besides watching our channel, is implementing it and practicing it, all right? We'll see you guys.
I've been thinking I might up and leave this city. I've been preying on some simple Midwest living. Homestead instead of my own 9 to 5 with a suit and tie. Going off grid with Doug and Stacy.